Well, well, well. Hello, Mr. Ing. I will be paying you a visit this evening. In your dreams.
Mr. Ing, please show us a bit of that scary improv you do so well!
Don't be scared, Alan. I just need a friend to play with.
It's October 1st, the month-long celebration of Halloween. I'm getting out my Halloween decorations. I hope you are too. So let's go. Lots of movies to discuss. Let's look at scary comments. No Alan.
So what the hell are we watching? It's called Film Threat. The one named Alan is supposed to be the funny one.
Yes. I will rule you one day, Flash Gordon.
That's my best bit.
I think that's your best one.
That's my best bit.
One.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. Busy.
It has been a wild week.
Yeah.
I was at Catalina Island. A few friends of mine went to LA Comic-Con. Had a very interesting discussion after the nooner with Gary. That will remain private, but things are cooking. Let's just say things are cooking, and I'm gonna wait to say anything official. But a lot of things cooking. How's it going, man? There's a lot of movies coming out.
Yeah, you know, it's award season, which means we're going to screenings constantly. And
I went to an F1 screening last night. I saw Jerry Bruckheimer, Joseph Kaczynski talk about F1. Great conversation. Just a lot. Yeah, I literally, tonight's my only free night. I have movies every night for the next 10 days.
Yeah.
But not tonight, my only free night.
Well, I too went to an F1 screening and got to talk to Jerry Bruckheimer and Joseph Kaczynski and Carrie Condon. But we did talk about was it Days of Thunder F1? And yeah, he has no time to even do that.
It has no time.
No one's working on that. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm really curious to see what Kaczynski does next. He really is a masterful filmmaker. And I learned at the Q&A, he started his career as an architect. He's more of a tech guy. He's a director that's very technical, and learning how they made F1 was amazing. They did all the racing stuff during COVID.
No, during the writer's strike.
Writer's strike.
Yeah. So they realized they couldn't shoot anything. The only thing they could shoot was the actual racing. So they followed F1 that summer and shot as much as they could, and then inserted the actors the next season of F1. And then that's what you got.
Yeah, they shot for like 2 years on and off.
Yeah, the editor said he had 5,000 hours of footage.
Yeah, I heard that. They mentioned that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And then Joseph Kaczynski, he's working on, we asked him what his next thing was, and it's something original. So,
but he wouldn't say.
He did, and I forgot.
Great.
I know. You can ask Dante. I'm pretty sure. No, never mind. You can ask Byron.
It's Halloween season, haunt season. I like to tell you about cool stuff. Streetfoodcinema.com, our friends there, are doing The Evil Dead in concert. Live to film orchestra ensemble. You watch Evil Dead and they play the music from Evil Dead. And I plan on going October 30th through November 1st at the $1 Million Theater in downtown LA.
What is that?
I have no idea. But also, we should talk about Award This. The deadline for Award This was extended to October 30th. there is still time to get your movie in. If you follow us on Instagram, I posted about it there. But here it is. Submit your movie to be eligible to win at Award This in 2026. The awards are January 31st, 2026. Go to awardthis.com. Click on eligibility requirements, which are very small. All you need to be is reviewed on Film Threat and be available to see it. So if you're a short film, it's got to be online somewhere. If you're a feature, available on VOD or Tubi or even YouTube, whatever.
Or physical media.
Or DVD. It has to be a way to see your movie. Because we want people to be able to see your movie. So go to awardthis.com. Tickets go on sale in November, and we want you to join us at the party. It's going to be a lot of fun. So there you go. Let's go to comments, Alan. Lots of people here commenting.
Yes. Well, from Joe Pat for 999. When you realize that Punch Drunk Love is like half the runtime of one battle after another, what I'm saying is I got my Paul Thomas Anderson fix elsewhere. Columbia Classics 4K.
There you go. Thanks, Joe Pat 87.
Thank you. Let's see. Suns and Shadows. Chris Coffee Pool. 2 cups wasn't enough. And to hell with cleaning a desk. He got a con to plan. He's got a con to plan. You have a con to plan?
I got pretty angry on the Nooner today with Gary. He is going to isolate that clip because there were bunch of technical problems on the show today. I think YouTube and StreamYard are having issues, but he's going to make a clip. You should watch it.
All right. And D Goodheart, Paul Thomas Anderson runs Hot and Cold for me. I love Boogie Nights, Magnolia, Hard 8, Punch Drunk Love, and There Will Be Blood, but hated Inherent Vice and just have no interest at all in the new movie.
Yeah. Well, we will discuss it. Our comment section was on fire, but the like ratio, 91% of the people hit like. Less than 10% hit dislike.
Yeah, that's
all I'm saying.
Yeah, we hit a big audience with that when we're at 90%. Lorthoth, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, and Rumble and Instagram. Buy our merch at shop.filmthread.com.
Hey, I love film festivals, Alan, and in lieu of going to the LA Comic-Con, I went to the Catalina Island Film Festival. It was a blast. If you've never been to Catalina Island, it's a 1-hour boat ride you can go from Dana Point or from Newport Beach, even Long Beach.
San Pedro.
Yeah. You can take a boat they sell drinks on the boat and had a great time. Although I learned my lesson because I saw a group of people who snuck drinks onto the boat. Why didn't I think of that? But it was a blast. And you can go to Catalina Island. The Catalina Island, it's catalinafilm.org is the website. It feels like, what I love about Catalina, it feels like you're like in some European coastal city. There's this beautiful casino and movie palace that seats 1,200 people. There are less than 4,000 people that live on this island, and there are very few cars, mostly go-karts.
Yeah.
But golf carts. The island is completely walkable. So I had a blast there. It was a lot of fun. I'll show you. Because I wasn't invited to LA Comic-Con. Here I am on a boat. Proof. And the cool thing was it was out of a movie. We saw dolphins jump. It was so great. So check it out. Okay, so I just want to let everyone know I'm not at LA Comic-Con this weekend. I'm on a boat, if you can tell. right here. I'm on a boat headed to Catalina Island for the Catalina Island Film Festival. I was invited there to be a guest of the festival because I cover indie movies, and they're very welcoming and inclusive. So while I'm not at LA Comic Con, I am at Catalina Island Film Festival, and I'll be covering movies, talking to filmmakers, probably going to some events and parties. I guess Ken Jeong is being honored at an event on Saturday night. There's all sorts of kids on the boat, which I think is great, and having a good time. And almost lost my hat.
So expect lots of fun coverage. And whoa, I wish I'd be with you all at LA Comic Con, but I chose the boat.
That's all you need to know.
How smooth was that ride, by the way?
It wasn't completely smooth if you're standing. It's
Right.
fine if you're sitting. You can sit inside, but in the two outside levels. On the way back, we sat on the very top of the boat, which was a blast.
Yeah. The only reason I bring it up is when I was Catalina was my senior ditch day in high school, and I've been there like 2 or 3 times after that. And the boat ride was miserable. It was rocky. it was like doing a whale watching trip. It's just you're gonna get seasick. You're gonna feel awful when you finally get to Catalina. Somehow they've got rid of all the rocky waves, and it's a nice, relatively smooth trip to go to Catalina now.
No, it's I had no issues at all.
Mhm.
Didn't bug me a bit. So the Ken Jeong tribute was on Saturday night, and I have it on video for members only. Also, there's videos of my trip on Instagram if you follow me on Instagram. So check that out. Hey, I'm gonna skip around here. We have to talk about this. Alan, do you watch Peacemaker?
I watched 2 episodes, the first 2 episodes of both seasons.
Well, I watched the first episode of season 2. I watched the second or the 6th episode, and I feel like I'm not confused. I was all caught up. Not confused in the least. But there's a controversy about this. This is Peacemaker, who's now in Fortnite. What do you think he's doing in the dance? Now, this is based on the dance that is the opening sequence from Peacemaker season 2. They did this dance number for season 1. There's a different dance number with all the characters. They come out, they do a dance, and he's doing this flip thing with his arms. What do you think that is, Alan?
Yeah, it's just that kind of robotic, right angle, arm bend, elbow bend. Look at it. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
John Cena as Peacemaker doing the little arm bend. Well, guess what?
What?
You have the notes for this story. That little arm bend may be another symbol. And from Polygon, Fortnite pulls controversial Peacemaker dance emote after the show's big plot twist. In episode 6, it's revealed that he's on Earth X, which is a version of Earth where basically the Nazis won World War II. There is a reveal where Peacemaker finds an American flag on a desk, and there's the swastika symbol on the flag. I think a lot of people predicted and guessed that this was going to happen. Do you have notes for this story,
Yes,
Alan?
I do.
All right, we'll go through the notes and then we'll talk.
Okay, so Fortnite has pulled its Peaceful Hips emote, part of the collaboration with DC's Peacemaker, after a shocking twist in the show's second season raised concerns that the dance could contain Nazi imagery. The emote, taken from Peacemaker's goofy dance intro, seemed innocent enough until episode 6 revealed an idyllic alternate dimension was actually a Nazi-controlled world, complete with an American flag where the stars have been replaced by swastikas. Within days, Epic Games disabled the emote, writing, "As we inquire into our partner's creative intentions in this collab emote, Assuming it's not coming back, we'll issue refunds in the next few days. The cautious wording, the report noted, does not sound terribly promising from an official Epic account. Complicating matters, James Gunn's secrecy. The showrunners admitted that he shared episodes 6 through 8 with only a few friends, meaning even Warner Brothers, let alone Epic, may not have been aware of the finer details. Would they have known every subtle thing he slipped in there? I doubt it, the piece observed. And it just says that Epic is unwilling to take chances, and that's why they took it down.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I know that a lot of people think maybe this was very clever. I think it's very pedestrian. It's kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
We see this coming up in so much media, right? It's just turned into a tired stereotype. So I don't know. I think that's weird that the first episode we talked about the orgy with a lot of full frontal male nudity was like, isn't this connect to Superman? It's a kid show, superheroes for kids. But he does this orgy scene that is a men, women, men with men, women with women, it's all over the map. That's episode 1 of season 2. Now we get to 6 and the tie-in. I wonder if the people at Warner Brothers are thinking to themselves, do you know who you're making these superhero shows for? Aren't they for kids and old fans of DC? I'm no prude. I like edgy stuff. I love the James Gunn Guardians movie. It's kind of, he built that world.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's its own tone. But I think that I find it just bizarre from the orgy scene in episode 1 to now this with the swastika dance. Are kids going to be doing that and mocking it? What are your thoughts, Alan?
Oh, they're saying the arm angles are okay. I thought they were saying that he did Nazi salute, but now I get what the controversy.
You didn't get it? He's doing.
Yeah, I mean that's so stupid. But
yes,
if it is
do the dance for you.
Yeah, there you go.
What are my arms supposed to be doing? Oh my God. So it was in the dance. No one noticed. He's doing a weird dance. Fine. But then it connects, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if in fact it is a Nazi thing, I'm A-okay with that. Oh no!
Oh no! Another thing! What are you doing? Oh my God! I just think it's not as clever as James Gunn thinks it is. I just don't think it's
well, I mean, it depends on how it plays out in the next 2 episodes, which I won't be watching. But I mean, there has to be some kind of irony or something. Otherwise, it's just done for sensationalism. And I want to believe that that's not the reason for it. I mean, there's got to be something dark behind this idyllic alternate universe that has to be uncovered.
Speaking of James Gunn had some comments on The Brave and the Bold. I, for one, am looking forward to this movie. Of course, it's a Batman film. It'll be this DCU's Batman. And we have no idea what that will look like. I do know that has repeatedly commented at least 3 times that I know about Batmite. He loves his imps. So Batmite may be coming to the DCU. So is it going to be dark like Michael Keaton? Is it going to be dark like, the Christian Bale like Batman? That kind of dark, like the Dark Knight? Will it be dark like Robert Pattinson or Tim Burton? Right. Just all the incarnations of Batman have been dark. there's only one sort of fanciful comedy version of Batman, and that's Adam West from the 60s, right? It's goofy, fun, very comic booky. But every incarnation of Batman on screen since has been dark. What direction will James Gunn go? Well, check out this article from IGN. James Gunn says plenty of things are in flux on Batman the Brave and the Bold and Damian Wayne. Alan, I know you have notes.
Yes, well, DC Studios co-chief James Gunn offered an update on the Brave and the Bold, but kept details deliberately vague about whether Robin Damian Wayne remains central to the film. The Brave and the Bold script, I like where we are, Gunn said in an interview, adding plenty of things are in flux. When pressed on Damian's role, he teased, I think you have to wait and see what's happening. Originally announced in 2023 as the Batman and Son story, Gunn had previously called Damian a little son of a bitch and my favorite Robin. But this latest comment hinted at possible changes, particularly regarding Damian's parentage. Asked directly if Damian was still in the movie, Gunn again refused a clear answer. The uncertainty extends to Batman himself. Gunn noted the intense interest from Hollywood to the role. I can't tell you the amount of big actors that have told me they want to be Batman. I think you have a harder time finding actors who don't want to be Batman. He's one character everyone wants to play. Gunn also acknowledged the challenge in introducing Batman into the DCU alongside Matt Reeves' separate The Batman films. Speaking to Rolling Stone earlier this year, he explained, Batman has to have a reason for existing, right? So Batman just can't be. Oh, we're making a Batman movie because Batman is the biggest character in all of Warner Brothers. He added that his version would avoid being campy. I'm not interested in funny, campy Batman, really. For now, the project remains in development. DC Studios' Peter Safran confirmed that a screenplay will only be shared with attached director Andy Muschietti when we have it in a place where we think it's ready to go.
All right. Well, that's encouraging. Breaking and related. I have the Peacemaker dance.
Oh, okay.
You want to see it, Alan? You never got. I want to see you do this dance.
Well, let's see the dance first, and then we'll.
All right, I'm gonna not play the music. That's the dance. Will Batman be doing a dance with the weird arm stuff? Eat peace. Yeah. Eat peace. Okay. Well, there you go, Alan. What do you think about all of this? And who are these big actors that want to play Batman? I mean, really think about it right now. Like who that's a big actor that you know that could really play. I mean, there's Alan Ritchson, who's actually is he mentioned he would want to play Batman. He's more
I think a lot of people would want to play Batman.
Well, he's more of like a Dark Knight, like the Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller comic Batman in terms of like this hulking figure. But who do you speculate some of these big actors are who want to play Batman? Well,
Dylan Mulvaney for one.
I think he's more of a Robin.
Yeah, I think Terry Crews would be a great choice. And look, don't pass up Pedro Pascal. You know, just because he was in Wonder Woman 85 doesn't mean he can't be Batman. In fact, I would say he's the leading candidate for Batman.
Alan, you're not taking this seriously. I don't think the chat is taking it seriously.
If you read what James Gunn said, it's like there's this basically, what does James Gunn think of Damian Wayne? Well, he didn't say anything. I mean, that's what the article is.
Yeah, it's
we're making news out of nothing right now.
Well, there is news. We've got a lot of news. I have a ton. But Tim is not. Let's go to comments. The comments here are pretty.
Yeah.
Just want to comment on this. Josh Hartnett, Tim is not funny, would make a great Batman.
Well, okay. So question is you have a young Matt Reeves Batman and Pattinson. Are we going for a middle-aged to older Batman, or are we looking for someone?
if there's more than one Robin, he has to be an older Batman. Like the
so
first few
mid-40s
years,
and up.
right? The first few years of his career, he doesn't really become Batman timeline wise until his late 20s, and then he's Batman, late 20s, early 30s, maybe 30.
Yeah, Ben Affleck was an old Batman.
Yeah, I thought Ben Affleck did great. I would like to see a solo Batman movie. I mean, I would have liked that was in the planning, never happened. But yeah, Josh Hartnett is a great choice. He's not too big of a star, and the guy, did you see he was in Oppenheimer?
Yeah,
he was great in that. He was great in that. Remember the action movie we saw?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but yeah.
He was really good in that, even though the movie was kind of, it was like whatever, but he was great. He would be good, but I'm curious how he will approach it, because Gunn has, and how many characters will be in the movie aside from Batman? There's going to be like 30 other characters in the movie. Commissioner Gordon, Gordon's daughter Barbara, Alfred the butler, whatever the aunt's name
Dick
is.
or Damien.
Dick, Damien, Todd. They're all over.
Chad,
Robin, Carrie Kelly, Robin.
Yeah.
How many Robins are we going to have in one movie?
Yeah. Who says Idris Elba couldn't play Batman?
Eventually, that'll be the case.
Yeah.
Let's go to some soups. A lot of members.
Yeah. So Akanika. Sorry, where okay, Akanika. Member for 38 months. Alan is correct for not being serious.
Yes.
Goat Meat has become a new member. Thanks, Goat Meat.
And Duckman.
And Duckman has become a new member. And then Goose Girl has just become a member. Suns and Shadows member for 26 months. Best chat and stream in town. Shout out to the chat and the best film threat stream going today.
Best film stream. Thank you, Suns and Shadows. Thank you.
Film stream.
And
John Manalang.
Okay.
For 38 months. Demon Slayer dominated the box office over Marvel and DC. Is a joy to behold. Shout outs to the power of God and anime.
Thank you, John. And thank you for being a member for holy shit. More than 3 years. And Red French Moon, member for 20 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost 2 years there.
Wow. It's amazing.
Okay. AD Ellis. I'm going to assume that Brandon Sklenar is going to be Batman.
What does Brandon Sklenar look like? I'm going to look it up. Brandon Sklenar, American actor.
All right. Well, while
he
you're doing
looks
that,
like he'd make a good Batman, but he might be too young. He looks like Pattinson's age. He's 35. He looks good. He definitely has a chiseled jaw. He could pull it off. Hey, Cash Kester for 2. Hero. Wait, it's better if Alan does that.
hero. Jean Hu for gifted 5 film threat memberships.
Hey, thank you.
And Suns and Shadows to the both of you. Thank you. Gifted 5 film threat memberships. That's 10 total.
Look on the members only videos. There's a lot. Hey, first an AI actor, and now there's an AI director. Is this? I think we're living in crazy world. Okay. This is utterly ridiculous. Deadline. This is a real news story from Jake Cantor at Deadline. Broke today. First an AI actor, now the AI director. Italian producer Andrea Lervolino unveils feature helmed by virtual auteur. Do you have notes for this, Alan?
Sure. Italian producer Andrea Lervolino has announced that he claims is the first feature film directed by an AI filmmaker, unveiling the sweet idleness at his company's AI division. The project is overseen by Fellini AI, an artificial intelligence director designed to celebrate the poetic and dreamlike language of great European cinema. Lino, who credits include Ferrari and To the Bone, will serve as the human in the loop, supervising Fellini AI while guiding its output. He described the experiment as a new chapter in the history of cinema, but stressed that it was not meant to replace traditional cinema, blah, blah, blah. Instead, he framed the initiative as an attempt to unite human sensitivity with the creative power of artificial intelligence in order to tell stories that no one has ever imagined before. The sweet idleness envisions a future where only 1% of humanity still works, including labor into a symbolic ritual, while the rest of society lives in comfort through automation. They did that in WALL-E. According to its logline, the last workers become the final mask of humanity that resists the insolence of labor. The film's cast is built from Actor Plus, Iravolino's agency that collaborates with real performers to create digital likenesses usable by Fellini AI. The announcement comes the same week when the industry just roiled by controversy over Tilly Norwood, an AI actress created by technologist Eline van der Velden, and reportedly pursued by talent agencies. That revelation sparked backlash from actors including Emily Blunt and a strong rebuke from SAG-AFTRA. SAG-AFTRA believes creativity is and should remain human-centered. The union is opposed to the replacement of human performers by synthetics.
I think this is as BS and fake. This interest from agencies to sign AI talent is as fake as the AI itself. I think this is manufactured outrage to draw attention to these projects, and I don't know if there's anything real behind this. There's even some question about the Lily Norwood thing being just a PR stunt. Who knows? But I do have a video of a trailer for this so-called AI director. Okay. I don't know how we found this, but I do have the video to play of it, and seems a little crazy. This is a teaser. Would you like to see this, Alan?
Yes, I'm curious.
Okay, just a short teaser. Let's watch.
So that we and our children will never work again, like everyone else.
So this movie is actually coming out.
Yeah.
That's real.
And
I don't know.
Robots there procreating at the end of that.
I mean, I'll say this. I think AI is going to have a huge impact on special effects. Rather than blow up a building in real life, we're going to see a lot of special effects. VFX, they're in trouble. I spoke to our friend, Jim Agnew.
Mm-hmm.
My friend, the producer, Jim Agnew, friend of the show. He will be on the show.
Yeah.
He has a book coming out. He'll be on the show. He's a recurring guest.
Yeah.
He said that AI is getting so good that, the popularity of those volume stages.
Yes.
Okay, those are being used, some would say overused in movies. They have cut their prices in half because they're afraid of AI. Like 50 cents on the dollar. They're like, we'll give you our volume stage now, half off, because they realize that's going away. You're not going to need it anymore. No one will care about the volume. That technology will be gone in under 2 years. They realize because of what you just saw.
Mm-hmm.
Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, the more I look into this story, the more I realize that this is essentially a scheme created by artificial intelligence.
I think a lot of this is just what I mean is the outrage surrounding these stories.
Yeah, it seems
It's
manufactured.
helping promote. Yeah, it's helping promote the thing. Just like us on here talking about it. I mean, it did its job. We're talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird. An AI direct. What's clear is they're framing a story that seems much more sensationalistic than it is. An AI director, Fellini. I mean, how exactly does that work? Is there an AI directing other AI? It just feels like it's a story being framed in such a way to as we say, be sensationalistic and manufactured at the same time.
Let's go to comments. There's a lot of good comments about this, but I want to thank you. I want to thank Skiz Spivak Esquire, gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Thank you.
Yeah, and then from Andy Makes Star Wars, the best thing about actors are the different ways of acting human AI will never get.
Andy Makes Star Wars. Let me tell you, I had a friend. I knew a lot of people who worked at ILM when they were making the prequels. Do you know what the hardest thing to animate with digital animation and CG characters? You know what it is? You would never guess. You would never guess.
Well, the obvious would be the eyes, so it's not that.
No, I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah.
Characters doing nothing. When an AI character, a CGI character is doing nothing, like standing, that's hard to do, because what do you do when you stand? You don't stand still, but and then I had a friend who worked at ILM that his entire job, he had one role on the prequels. The first one, episode 1, was to when a CG character touched a physical piece of set that was in the movie, he had to make that part look real. Like Jar Jar putting his hand on a table, there's shadow, there's weight, there's touch and sensitivity. The amount of detail that goes into making CG characters seem real is crazy. But I was told the hardest thing is a CG character doing nothing. The hardest thing to animate. Thank you, Andy.
Yeah. All right. Single man skits. AI is a fetish, a trend, a gimmick, a fad. It'll be dead within films in 5 years.
Yeah, I think the uncanny valley nature of it, I think it will be a fad, like a lot of things, but it could evolve into being like a subgenre of movie, just like CG cartoons, right? Or certain types of styles of filmmaking.
I mean, I'd probably take the bet on the over and under. I don't think there will be a fully AI feature film in 5 years. One that claims to be a legitimate film. I should.
We'll see. Okay.
Yeah. At least put out by the major studios. Bill S. Preston Esquire. AI is a fad right now, but it isn't going away. Folks have been working on this before it was trendy, and they're making it more useful every day. Plus, they're building AI, companies and servers, and to the point where these companies are building their own power plants to run the AI.
Yeah.
Robots. The Garth Knight Returns. Lily Norwood would do well in the adult industry.
Now that's where I could see AI being used a lot. Is in adult films. So
and you can get customizable performances too.
There you go. Do you remember a piece of software on the Mac called Mac Playmate?
I don't.
Well, don't look it up. But I do. It's very popular on my Mac SE that I had back in the 80s or 90s.
It would have been the 90s.
Early times.
Yeah.
Hey, we failed to mention Lord Thoth. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Sign up as a member. Join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram. Buy our merch at shop.filmthreat.com. It's my favorite shop. And we've got, well, let's see. We've got the Spirit of Fall Collection, sports jerseys, the Spirit of Halloween collection, and cheers, have a drink with the best. We do have glasses, Film Threat glassware for your kitchen, Alan. So there you go. That's great. Thank you, Lord Thoth. We appreciate you and MK Solid, all the folks that, just help get the word out. We appreciate you. So there we go. Hey, Star Wars fans are convinced Amy Adams is playing Mara Jade. Do you know who Mara Jade is, Alan?
No.
Mara Jade.
I have an idea. Yeah.
Okay. In the Star Wars extended universe, that is the continuing adventures of Han, Luke, and Leia after the events of Return of the Jedi, Mara Jade is the love of Luke Skywalker's life. Yes, folks, Luke Skywalker is a normal sexual or a heterosexual, whatever the word is today. And in the new Star Wars Starfighter that Ryan Gosling is leading, there is a rumor that Amy Adams' character is Mara Jade. You have notes for the story, Alan, but I know what I heard is that she plays a Jedi. Obviously, Mara Jade is a Jedi, and she has a son, and the son, spoilers if you care about this, but this is not confirmed. This is rumor, so I'll report this. That Amy Adams plays Mara Jade, an older Mara Jade that has a son that is the son of Luke Skywalker. And she's trying to get the son to Luke, and Ryan Gosling's character will pilot a starfighter to get Luke's son to Rey. That's what I'm told. What does this story say, Alan?
Well, then I got to ask you then, what is the first season of Mandalorian? What is that about?
Exactly. It's so. What are we? Is every Star Wars storyline inspired by Uber Eats drivers? They're trying to get something to a place. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I think in this case, they're going to use Waymo to get Luke's son to
everything is a delivery service now. I got to get the plans, the princess's plans of the Death Star to the rebellion. I got to get BB-8, the plans to the map to Luke Skywalker. I got to get the Baby Yoda to the thing of the Luke's blah, blah. And now it's so dumb. It's the plot of a video game. Okay. It's the plot of a video game. I'm not convinced. Alan, what does the story say?
All right, so here we go. Mara Jade, one of the most iconic figures from the old Star Wars expanded universe, continues to loom large over the franchise even after Disney declares her story non-canon in 2012. Created by Timothy Zahn, Mara began as the Emperor's hand before finding redemption as a Jedi Knight and Luke Skywalker's wife. While her arc made her one of the most influential characters in the franchise's history, her path has long seemed incompatible with Disney current canon. But fresh rumors have ignited reignited fan speculation with Amy Adams joining Sean Levy's upcoming film Star Wars Starfighter. Audiences were intrigued when it was confirmed she would play the mother of Flynn Gray's Force-sensitive character. At first, fans joked that any redhead mother in Star Wars was bound to spark Mara Jade theories. Yet insiders John Roca and Daniel Richmond report that Amy's character may in fact be a former Jedi, and suddenly the speculation no longer seems so far-fetched. Adams would be perfectly cast as Mara Jade, some argued, and her storyline could feasibly align with the timeline. If her character trained in Luke Skywalker's Jedi Order but left due to personal attachments, breaking with the Jedi rule against family, it would echo Mara's spirit. Still, the article stressed that her defining romance with Luke remains off the table. Canon Luke has absorbed the prequel Jedi Order's view on attachment, and given him a child would risk undermining Rey, described as Star Wars' most valuable cinematic asset. The report concluded that Adams' role may be less literal resurrection of Mara Jade, but more of an homage. She may not be Mara Jade, but Amy Adams' character increasingly feels Mara-coded. Closest thing we'll get to Mara in Star Wars canon, the article noted. For many fans, that would still be an awesome way to honor Mara's legacy, even if it's less than the fandoms long for.
First of all, let me just say this. I like this rumor. It sounds so ludicrous and so dumb, it could be true. It's likely to be true. It just feels like it is. The other thing is, when you're making this movie, Star Wars Starfighter, you could even make the choice up to the last minute where there's a line or two they have in a scene. They can either leave it in or cut it out. Right? Like there's so much that it could be easily. I think the movie would take on more weight if her character was introduced, and both Luke and Han would be deadbeat dads in Star Wars that basically had space divorces. It's kind of sad, actually. So that'll lead into another story we have to talk about. But what do you think, Alan? And then we'll go to comments.
Yeah, I love it when Disney takes beloved characters that fans have loved for a very long time and screws around with them. So,
yes.
So there you go. Look, you might be excited about Mara Jade, but is it Mara Jade? Is this how you finally want Mara Jade to finally appear in Star Wars? It would just as easy, and I would venture to guess that they're just going to create a new character for Amy Adams and let it go at that. I just, the way they're screwing around with the extended universe, which I know nothing about, has been less than exciting, less than enthusiastic. I forget the name of the villain in Ahsoka, the one everyone loves and creams themselves over. But is that the representation of that character that you want? Yeah.
Let's go to comments. Yeah. Sorry, Alan.
No, go ahead.
Let's go to comments.
All right. Comments we shall. Here we go. Pilgrim Media for 2. When I was growing up, we had nutty mags.
All right.
Lord Thoth, she would be a fine Mara Jade, but they haven't developed the story enough to be any good with today's writers. It's a glorified cameo, basically.
Agree, Lord Thoth.
Tim is not funny. If she is Mara Jade, I'm calling it that Sebastian Stan will cameo as in the post-credit scene as Luke Skywalker and play him in future installments.
I think he meant nudie mags.
Oh, okay.
Misspelled.
Lord Thoth, this will never happen. She's a ginger. Disney would have to cast her as a black woman, or Dylan Mulvaney. Troy Knoll, member for 3 months. Happy 3 months membership.
Happy 3 months, Troy. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. In a related story, Alan. In a related story. Speaking of Luke Skywalker, the Humiliation of Men in Cinema. This is a story that someone put together from filmindustrywatch.org. The War on Men, how cinema became a weapon in the cultural backlash against men and masculinity. We have notes for this story. It's a very long piece. We're probably going to revisit this, but this is an amazing piece about the emasculation of male characters in, name it, sitcoms, movies, TV, name a thing. Name a classic hero. Indiana Jones.
James Bond.
Alan, you have notes for this story. Give it to me.
In recent years, Hollywood has embraced a striking narrative shift. Men are increasingly portrayed as predators, cowards, or failures, while women are cast as victims, avengers, or moral centers. This reflects the cultural aftershocks of the #MeToo movement, with cinema now embedding its lessons directly into storytelling. One of the clearest examples comes from Promising Young Woman from 2020, in which Carey Mulligan's Cassie exposes the predatory instincts of men who brand themselves as nice guys. The film suggests that every man is guilty, if not of rape, then of complicity or willful ignorance. Similar themes appear in Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always in 2020, where teenager Autumn's journey reveals a society filled with predatory men, culminating in her admission of rape. The pattern extends to award-winning films. Anatomy of a Fall. The husband Samuel is portrayed as emotionally broken and volatile, while Sandra, though his wife, commands a moral high ground. Greta Gerwig's Barbie gleefully lampoons fragile male egos through Ken's exaggerated embrace of patriarchy. Poor Things portrays men as controlling paternalists and libertine exploiters. Even Palme d'Or winners like Triangle of Sadness and Honora draw humor and critique from emasculating its male characters. A cultural critic, Robert Thompson, observes that this is no accident. Hollywood is becoming its own loudest voice in helping to call out what bad thing this is. Directors, including Emerald Fennell and Kitty Green, have openly said their work is designed to unsettle male viewers and hold a mirror to systemic misogyny. Upwards of 90 to 90% of men worldwide have been never accused of harassment at all, while men themselves disproportionately suffer from suicide, homicide, homelessness, and workplace deaths. Issues rarely depicted on screen. And the prevailing message, however, is that male toxicity is universal and male innocence is non-existent. The concept of toxic masculinity, once confirmed to academic and activist circles, has now become mainstream orthodoxy in film and media, framing traits such as stoicism, competitiveness, and strengths as inherently harmful. This has sparked backlash from uproar over Gillette's 2019 toxic masculinity ad to politicians warning of masculinity crisis. Ultimately, cinema has become a battleground in the gender war, often using its narratives as a hammer rather than a mirror. While calling out abuse is essential, it warns against collapsing the differences between abusers and men as a whole. The challenge ahead is to not polarize further by painting one gender as oppressor and the other as victim, but to redefine relationships between genders in a way that values both men and women.
Look, it's always a shock to me when I see a male character in a movie that's treated fairly or allowed to be heroic or allowed to be virtuous or allowed to do good and then receive praise for that good. It's surprising when you see like, oh wow, that's like a positive male character in a movie that is a father. We saw it in Avatar, right? There's can be a balance of heroic male characters, heroic female characters. Yeah. But when you diminish the male characters and supplant them at the to elevate the female characters, it's almost constant. It's so predictable. And you know what it is? Ultimately, boring. We're going to talk about this more on Versus, but what do you think, Alan?
Yeah. Well, I guess when I first saw it just a moment ago, this article, men have always been kind of treated as the adults and the saps. But I think after reading the article, you realize it's just really ramped up, especially since Me Too and since the election of a certain president. Yeah, it's, we talk about the racial divide. What we're also experiencing is the gender divide. And that has opened itself to basically men being abusers and oppressors while women being victims and the basically now the protagonists of all stories. And then I'll throw the trans issue in there as well. You mentioned probably the only movie that comes to mind that does treat men and women in a fairly balanced way, and that's Avatar. Jake Sully is the protector of his family. Jake Sully is the leader of his family. Although his wife is able to do battle while pregnant, Jake Sully is still the leader. He is the one in charge of that family. And that's, it's weird that no one's calling James Cameron out for that. But, I can't think of another movie that really sets the traditional male, mother, father, male, female role in a movie.
Let's go to comments here, and then we'll go to our top story.
Yeah, D. Goodhart. I've been finding myself watching movies like The Hunt for Red October and Apollo 13 for positive male portrayals.
Yeah, older films didn't have this issue.
Mm-hmm. Raylo Normie. I just watched Beetlejuice 2 with my daughter last night and knew immediately the men and the boy was bad. Yep.
True.
Yeah, I mean, look at One Battle After Another, for crying out loud. Robot Dudes, Hollywood is just commies, feminists, and feminized men. Ololiukui, the greatest lesson to restore civilization should be that boys are not defective girls, and men are not defective women. Oh, boys are not defective girls, and men are not defective women. Yep. D. Goodhart, I also love the toxic masculinity films. I just finished watching Glengarry Glen Ross again, and never ever get tired of that film.
Oh, that's a great movie. I mean, no one condones that behavior, but that movie's awesome.
Yeah, but it was prevalent when that play came out.
Yeah.
9 to 5. It was relevant because that's the time it came out. Where there's a literal glass ceiling. But they want to remake 9 to 5, and it just won't have the impact as the original did. Akanika, we need a Charles Bronson reset.
They could remake 9 to 5, but make it a female 9 to 5 where the female boss is a complete a-hole and the men are abused and like I don't know, that could be good.
You do the role reversal on that.
Role reversal on that because it's true.
Yeah.
All right. Time for our top story. One Battle After Another came out. The $100 million plus Paul Thomas Anderson movie was released and kind of failed at the box office. It broke Warner Brothers' streak of 40 million plus openings, opened to 20 million and change.
Yeah, 7 films in a row. 7 films in a row.
7 films in a row opened at 40 million plus. One Battle After Another. Leo DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, and it fell flat. Will it hold? We'll see. Alan and I gave it a very mixed to negative review. And we do that. We will give, we're very honest. We tell you what we think. I never know what Alan's going to think until we do the show. And then we discuss it. We're pretty much in line with each other. I mean, you saw different issues than I did. We both had comments, but our review, which kind of blew up, I think it's more than 50,000 views, which is big for our channel.
Yeah.
150,000 sub channel, 50,000 view videos, not normal. That's a lot. Now, there were a lot of comments. I'm going to share the comments because let's respond to some of these comments. Yeah. And I'll say this also about this is that, I think the comments are a lot from people who don't watch the channel on the regular.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. There's a different audience of people that watch us live. You are watching this live. If you're watching this later, you're probably watching this from a clip. They are completely different audiences. But let me go through and we'll read some of these and then respond back. Stanley Rogowski. I like Polish. I'm Polish. Hey.
Sounds like a good guy.
Sounds like a good guy. He says both these critics saw Animal House and rooted for Dean Wormer.
No, he's not a good guy.
Now, wait. Let me say to Stanley, that's fair. You didn't agree with our review. Here's what I like. He didn't insult us, didn't use words that were personal attack, and his comment, he expresses his dislike or disagreement with the review while making a clever remark. This is fair.
No,
Thank you, Stanley Rogowski.
It's not fair.
It's not fair?
Look, first of
What
all,
do you think?
okay, so I see these comments all the time. It's prejudice. They're making the assumption that because we didn't agree with the politics of the movie, therefore we must like Dean Wormer from Animal House. He prejudged us and gave us this because we all know, as fans of Animal House, we did not root for Dean Wormer. And believe me, this is not the only comment like this. And again, prejudice. They are prejudging us based on the fact that we didn't like the politics of the film.
All right, next comment here. The Anadrome. Is this the most irresponsible movie of the year? That's what I said in my own review. Thanks for agreeing. I'm getting a lot of pushback, but I think you are right. If this film came out in 1998, this would be seen differently. But to release it now, I agree, Anadrome. There are things in this movie that could be considered as morally an issue. Now, I'm not shy about morally, suspect characters. We've seen The Godfather, Godfather 2, right? I do think you see the morality in those characters. Michael Corleone is trying to protect his family. And you understand the morality that grounds people in the mafia. They have a code, so to speak, right? And they don't kill people willy-nilly over a political cause. But we've gotten a pushback, I know. And I also think there's something about this movie that if you don't like it and agree with it, you're not a cool hipster like me who's going to go with all the sheep who all say they like it. So I better say I like it because I don't want people to think I'm stupid because I don't like the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I think that's what some people are. Some people are afraid to say they don't like the film and go on like sheep. Alan? Please.
Yeah. I mean, it's gone even worse. It's, first of all, to disagree, to be against this movie is, no one wants to be linked with MAGA. And so therefore they have to go the other direction. And that's playing it safe. It's like being Emma Watson or Emily. Yeah. And in terms of this response, look, let's also be real. Hollywood has always been liberal for at least from the 60s to today. They're more likely to take a liberal, democratic stance. And I've certainly experienced that. It was rare for me to ever see a movie that was balanced for both parties, or B, a Republican movie. So there's a long tradition of this, but for some reason, I think it's right. If this had come out in 1998, we'd see things a little bit differently. We'd see it for what it is, like more like the Black Panthers than basically Antifa.
Let's go to the next comment. Moth Fletchman says, I don't think your general Joe Public would be in favor of a lot of movies what the protagonists engage in. He's quoting us, I think. Do you think the general Joe Public is in favor of what the protagonist of Scarface engages in, or in the protagonist of Goodfellas? Well, that was my point earlier about Godfather. Like, we know they're doing bad. They're anti-heroes that do bad, but have a code, right?
Well, Well, and things didn't exactly turn out so well for Scarface.
Yes, I mean the people in Scarface. Well, Scarface himself.
There were consequences to their actions.
There are consequences to a lot of the characters in mafia movies. In Godfather, people met their end in grisly ways. Same thing in Scarface. Look at those movies. The characters at the end of one battle after another are like off to another adventure.
Well, no, it's
no
worse.
Consequences.
It's worse. And they lived happily ever after.
It's weird. It's weird. Let's go to the next comment. From Kirk Plimpton, MD, maybe a doctor. I had some of the same concerns before seeing it, and I was hoping to disagree with you guys for the sake of the actor-director. But damn, you guys are right. If the left thinks this movie has anything insightful to say about the current political climate, they are going the way of the Whig Party. Well, I'll just say that the general public hasn't seen this movie. Normies don't care. It made 20 million at the box office. Kind of a bomb for this type of film based on the cast. Leo, Sean Penn, Benicio, Regina Hall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so yeah, so that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is once this gets a nomination for Best Picture, you're going to see normies go, well, I should see the movie that was nominated for Best Picture. Let me rent it or see if it's on whatever streaming service. It's on Max.
Remember what last year's example of this was? It was Emilia Perez.
Exactly. Once the general public sees the movie, you're going to see that Rotten Tomato score go south real quick.
By the way, that comment was so astute that Dr. Plimpton, you can keep your medical license.
Yes. Zilla Universe says something tells me you didn't really pay attention to the movie. Yes, accusing us of being stupid or we're just too blinded on politics to enjoy it. This movie isn't exactly pro-Antifa, as it still paints the main characters as being more morally gray and doing terrible things just for the sake of their cause. Hell, the movie is literally about their daughter's life being torn apart because of her parents' extreme political views.
I believe we saw the same movie then. I mean,
yeah, I think you made that comment, but I don't like this thing at the beginning, like, you didn't pay attention, you're stupid. Look, I paid attention. I saw things you didn't see. That's okay. Don't call me stupid. Thank you. David Dillo, extremely frustrating film considering all of his other movies. First time we've truly seen Looney Tunes level evil antagonists from PTA, not characterized as well as of the other antagonists. Another comment, Rick Deckard Blade Runner 2049. Nice name. If you can suspend all political beliefs, this movie is a 10 out of 10. I loved it. I really didn't care about character development for this film. The film started off slow, but the ending totally made up for that. One of the best film endings ever. Paul Thomas Anderson's best film, and I'm more conservative than liberal, but I never watch the news and stay away from politics. So maybe this is why I enjoyed it too. Bonus points if you can have a payphone scene in a movie. Lol. Hey, that's a fair comment. You liked it more than we did, and the politics didn't bother you, and that's fair.
Okay,
Alan, go ahead.
10 out of 10. So perfect movie, and didn't care about the character development. I mean, look, a 10 out of 10 movie has to have at least one thing, and that's character development. This had none. I get that you loved it, but I do believe that I think you're seeing too much good in this in terms of a film, because it's not that great of a film.
Look, I'm not gonna try to convince this Rick Deckard Blade Runner of to change his mind. I'm saying,
but we can have a conversation.
That's okay. You loved it. Appreciate that. We felt differently. That's
but 10 out of 10.
But by the way, we are featuring the calmest of comments here. A lot of comments are show language I don't want to share, and they call names, and that is when you have lost the argument. When you call your enemy a name, you have lost the argument because you're resorting to name calling instead of debating the issue. Let's another comment here. Bass playing Ben. What does it say about audiences and film critics that a film this shallow, with no character development and bad guys that seem to have been written by a high schooler, can be so universally praised? Does no one actually know what a good movie is? Did they ever really? Were the critics faking it the whole time? Alan, your thoughts?
My thoughts? Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it before. I think when you have certain subjects, you have to 100% always like it. You always have to like slave movies. You always have to like civil rights movies. You always have to write feminist movies. Otherwise, you're MAGA. And no one wants to be associated with MAGA.
Another comment here. W.D. Croft, even putting the movie's politics aside, the movie is not good. Don't fall for the marketing. It's P.T. Anderson's worst film in years, and I usually rate him as a writer-director. Bad characterization, cringe dialogue, overlong, poorly paced. It's terrible. Some decent action scenes, but nothing better than Bullet or Heat. Second half of the movie is a cheap ripoff of The Searchers. Oh, I didn't even think of that. That's great insight, W.D. Croft. Really wish I had went to see the Spider-Man re-release instead.
I wish
That's
too.
great. Yeah, and a last comment here from Dana Siad. Sorry if I didn't get that right. People think this movie glorifies Antifa terrorism when most of the crew from the beginning get killed, and Leo spends 16 years raising a daughter in a wooden shack while becoming an alcoholic stoner where all the shit kicks off. I didn't personally leave the theater with any aspirations to join that kind of movement.
By the way, everything described there isn't in the movie.
Yes, but I'll say this.
Assumed.
They really do glorify and make them heroes in the first third-ish, maybe 25%.
And at the end.
Yeah, and at the end. Alan, your final thoughts on the comments.
Yeah, yeah, I think I said it mostly in there and all of that. It's just
okay.
It's to me, the thing that bothers me most is the prejudice. You just assume because I didn't like the movie, you assume I have certain politics, certain beliefs, certain predilections toward certain characters, and again, that's all prejudice.
Let's go to comments, and we have a interview coming up with Devin Montgomery, who's in our digital green room. We'll get to you in a couple minutes, Devin. Let's go through the comments here.
All right. From Zodlander for 100 Swedish krona. Congratulations, Disney. You managed to find one thing that made me 100% sure to not get your products, not sub to your service, or watch your movies. AI Stan Lee. Perversion of his views, ghoulish behavior.
Oh, thanks, Zodlander. Yeah, some about that felt wrong.
Mm-hmm. Joe Pat 87 for 199. Brad Jones and Doug Walker missed it surprisingly.
Mm-hmm.
And then ADLs. Alan, don't forget that Film Thread gave the film. Yeah, we gave it a 10 out of 10.
It wasn't either of us.
It wasn't us.
This is, by the way, I love diversity of opinion. And Alex, the guy who reviewed it, loved it. Alan and I did not. We have 30 people who write for Film Threat, contribute reviews. Okay, on the recurring basis. We don't all agree. Between 3 people, we don't agree, much less 30.
Yeah. In fact, I talked to Alex about it the other day at the F1.
What did he say? What did Alex say?
He's wrong. He's 100% wrong. That's all. That's all.
That's great. I love a lively discussion.
No, I mean he's definitely a simp for Paul Thomas Anderson, and that was the gist of our discussion. Patrick Lemire, radical chic and worshiping terrorists in cinema goes back to the 60s. Yep. But they also made Dirty Harry. The difference is they are not making Dirty Harry anymore.
True.
Mm-hmm. Seb Oathbreaker. Actually, I always thought John Belushi and his gangs in Animal House were jerks.
Yeah, but I do like Bluto. Blutarsky. I love it. I love it. Hey, one of the things we love to do, Alan, on Film Threat is feature indie filmmakers and tell you about their movies. And so it's time for us to do that. Let's talk to Monsters Within director Devin Montgomery. He's here to talk about his film.
Hey, what's
Devin.
up, guys?
Hey,
thanks for joining us on the show today. How's it going?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's going great.
Great. Tell us about your film, Monsters Within.
Yeah, so Monsters Within, it's a story about a veteran. He's dealing with PTSD. He left his small hometown, this place he thought he would never want to go back to, but just sometimes in life you feel lost, and the only place really that's left for you is to go back to the one place you don't want to go back to. But that's where his sister is, who has Down syndrome, and she's always been kind of like his compass, his moral compass in life. So he goes back to the small town to see her, and he's been running from his problems his entire life. So all these monsters that he's been running from, and even some of these monsters that were maybe there in this hometown, once he gets back there, it all catches up to him, and it's just it's the end of the film's a very intense sort of standoff.
Well, it's October.
Yeah.
Kicking off Halloween. Monsters
Absolutely.
are at the top of everyone's mind here, but this is a very real issue with veterans and whatnot. What inspired you to make this film?
Yeah, so my family, both my parents were in the military. A lot of my family, my grandpa, grandparents, they were all in the military. I grew up on military bases. So a lot of my life was just going from one base to the other base and moving from one place to another. But as I got older and I started to really understand more about PTSD and what these veterans go through, I can remember times of, my dad, he has PTSD. So I kind of understood a lot more of, things that he was going through. But then also when, you're living on a base, you go over to your friend's house, you see these big, tough soldiers, these guys that just have this very strong presence about them. But certain days they just would have this look on their face. And that's something that's always stuck with me. And so as I got older and started hearing more stories about that, it's something that always, I just felt it was a very important topic to really look into. And when I got into filmmaking, that's something I knew I always wanted to touch upon.
Well, thank you to your family for their service. I've had family members also in the military. My grandfather was in World War II in the Navy.
Wow.
My uncle was in Vietnam. So there is that sort of, what they're thinking about something.
Yeah.
You're not sure what.
Right.
The flip side to the story, though, is you cast your sister in the main role.
Yeah, and I knew I wanted that to be a very thing that I could make the film feel that much more authentic and real in a lot of ways.
Hey, let's watch the trailer. I have it queued up here.
Cool.
Let's watch the trailer. We want to share this with our audience so they get a taste of the movie. I'm going to play it right now. Let's watch together.
Going back home. What does that even mean? All I ever wanted was to leave this town behind, not look back. I gave my life for this country, this town, all those people out there. Where were they when I needed them? Sometimes that past you tried to run away from. I heard someone say once, running away from your past, not facing your problems, that's a race you can't win. No matter how fast you move, how far you go, where you go, those monsters will always find you. You never truly know just how strong you are, though, until you fight back.
Wow. Very powerful. I have a stepbrother with Down syndrome as
Okay.
well. So,
Oh wow. Yeah.
no, he's amazing. He's very high
Mhm.
functioning. He
Yeah.
works at a law firm
Oh wow.
in the mailroom and
Nice.
lives by himself. He's so
Very cool.
great. I've
That's
known
awesome.
him since he was a little kid.
Yeah.
So I relate to a lot of this. How
Mm.
did you pull this project together? You know, a lot of filmmakers have obstacles, right? Money,
Oh yeah.
resources. How'd you
Mhm.
pull it together to get this done?
Yeah, it really started during 2020 because that changed a lot of my mindset where I felt like acting is really my passion and main focus. But because of 2020, I just had a lot of self-reflection, as a lot of people did, and I just felt like I was waiting around for some sort of whatever opportunity, whatever that is, for someone to give me this opportunity to do what I love. So I just pretty much decided then and there that I was going to make something. And so, long story short, we made a short film version of that, and then that went on a film festival run. Got in touch with a lot of amazing people on that festival journey. We got this amazing crew together. I mean, we didn't have a really big crew, but everybody wore a lot of multiple hats, and everybody believed in what we were doing. So that was a very important part of it. And also, luckily, we're in Oklahoma, which is a very film-friendly state. So a lot of the locations, pretty much every location, it was a lot of me just going to those locations saying, hey, this is what I would like to do. Here's a short film. This is the story. And then being like, you know what? Use our location. And so time was really the big constraint for us, and money as well. But I feel like with independent film, time is one of your biggest enemies, because like when you're on a location, even if it's sort of guerrilla style, even if you do have permission to be there, you don't want to wear out your welcome. So yeah, a lot of it's just prep, and also though, being very open to, if things are not how you saw in your head, sometimes you just have to go with that and trust your gut, because a lot of the most truthful moments can be found in that, like, things that aren't planned.
We've got over 2,000 people watching live right now. We have a lot of questions from our chat.
Yeah.
Let's go to the questions. Alan, if you would read these.
Sure. From Zodlander. For 50 Swedish krona, PTSD is real. I have it. Not from service, but from other stuff too. Things like that I don't want to get into. Respect those who serve for your freedom.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great.
All right. LFC fan, what was the budget and what cameras did you use?
Yeah. So our budget, really up until the post-production side of things, it was around 16,000. Like, we really put a lot of planning. That's why I say planning is a big key in it. So afterwards, though, I would say we're probably around like the $19,000 range, which has been very amazing to get this far with that. So I can't thank the cast and crew enough for all of the hard work we did. And as far as cameras and lenses, we used the FX3, the FX6, and we used Tokina Cinema Vista Prime lenses. They just gave like a really amazing look, because I knew I wanted to have a very classic sort of movie style look to it. But it gave it its our own style too.
Yeah. Well, you should come to LA and make a movie. It'll break your spirit.
Yeah, right. I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
All right. ADLS 24. Devin, you wore many hats: writing, directing, lead actor, producer, and editor. Which job caused you the most headache, and which do you feel like you saw your skill grow the most?
Yeah, I feel like the biggest one was probably editor, just because that, like I said, 2020 was such a big, important year for me that was one of the things I taught myself how to do, was edit during 2020. And I knew to save some costs, I would have to wear a lot of hats, but I learned a lot about editing while making this movie, just from the simple fact of how big a factor storage can be and how much backups you need. But I think growing as an actor, because being the director, like I was able to work with such amazing cast and crew, and I have such an amazing talented actors that are in this movie. So watching them and also directing them, but talking with them, being around them, made me a better actor. And so I feel like a lot of the times, when I would see their performances and just how in it and immersed they were, that made me want to step my game up even that much more. Even when we're halfway through the film and you kind of feel like your energy levels start to deplete, it's just, you get so inspired every single day. And I would like to give a big shout out to the guy that plays the villain in our film. His name's Samuel French. He had a supporting role in Killers of the Flower Moon, but he passed away earlier this year. So this is one of his final performances. And I mean, he was such an amazing talent, and he delivers an amazing performance in this. And I'm so excited for people to see this. But yeah, he inspired me so much, and as well as the female lead, Kendall Kavner.
All right, Patrick Lemire, writer, director, lead actor. How the heck did you pull it off? Yeah, how do you direct yourself when you're acting?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that one out too. Like, I do tell people though, I did watch a lot of films going into it of, you know, a lot of independent film where it was like people that wore a lot of hats, and a big movie that actually kind of inspired a lot of what I was doing. So it's a lot of people have not heard it or have not seen it, but Jason Momoa, it's called Road to Paloma. So he was writer, director, lead actor in that. And so watching some of the behind the scenes of that gave me a lot of inspiration, because I just saw how much he believed in that story that he wrote. So it was just a lot of, I just got to throw myself into it, because, you know, if we want to get this done, that's what we got to do. And so we've gotten this far, so I'm proud of it.
Did you have like a second pair of eyes to kind of?
Oh yeah, you have to, like, for me, having our cinematographer, like, there'd be times where, just to speed up things, we have such a similar wavelength. So I would look at him after a take, and he would just be like, okay, let's move on. Or he would be like, let's go again. And I had a lot of trust in the cast and crew too.
That's good.
So,
all right, Caveat Ties, how did you gather your crew?
Yeah, we kind of describe ourselves as just sort of like this collection of misfits. Like, we just kind of all found each other. A lot of us found each other in like acting classes, or we've met, you know, on other sets. We made the film in Oklahoma and Texas, so there was a lot of mishmash of a crew like that. But part of it too was just doing casting calls and then meeting people and them kind of seeing what we were doing, and they would want to like jump on and say like, hey, I believe in this, I want to be a part of this. So yeah, it was just kind of a right time, right, perfect meeting place type thing.
All right, nerd far away. Hail, Mr. Montgomery. What is your favorite story about human connection?
About human connection? I mean, really, it's any story that you can feel, whoever's telling that story, I feel like if you can feel their heart in it, like, that's what fascinates me. And that's something that I really wanted to approach with this film. And that's another reason I put my sister in it, because I knew we didn't have a big budget. We didn't have big names behind us or anything like that. But I felt like there's still a place for those smaller stories on an independent film scale, where I think if the audience can connect with the story, then that's the most important thing. So as long as you can feel that heart in it, that's what I gravitate to.
Yeah, ADL's 24, starting as a short film, what was the motivation to expand it to a feature length? And did that lead to any creative surprises you weren't expecting when you initially made that decision?
Yeah, I think the starting it as a short film was really fascinating, because that was my first real experience with that. Because, you know, I didn't go to film school. I didn't really have any sort of background as a filmmaker. So I got to learn a lot making that first short film. But going on the film festival journey and seeing in real time people react to the film and the story, like there'd be times, even for a 10-minute short film, someone would come up to me or run up to me after the film, and they just felt that bond that was between my sister and me in the film, and just kind of seeing it in their eyes. Sometimes you would see like tears, and I was like, wow, that people really are connecting with this. And I knew we had something fascinating there. And yeah, I mean, as far as fleshing it out as a real full-on story, I knew I wanted it to be about a veteran and PTSD, but I also wanted to give the characters that are in the film, like, everybody's going through their own thing, because that's how life is. Everybody's dealing with something. So I wanted to have something for everyone that they're going through. But yeah, there was a lot of figuring things out. And I actually made the decision halfway through the film, because I was editing while we were filming, and we were filming in order. So halfway through the film, what I was editing and what I saw on screen was totally different tonally than what the original plan was. And so again, I think that's kind of the cool thing with independent film, is you can go with your gut. And so I decided the halfway point, we went in a whole new direction. And that's how the character and the villain Cyrus, that's how he got really involved. So yeah, it was just, that was probably our biggest moment, was making that decision. But I'm proud of it.
I got to ask you though, how did you find your way to distribution with Buffalo 8? What journey was that like?
So we started our film festival journey 2024. It was around like March, and you know, it starts off. I feel like film festival journeys are always similar, where you get rejected a lot. You know, you get like 5 or 6 rejections, and you're like, like you kind of get beat down a little bit. But then you get that one, and then it just like snowball effects. So we've screened at 38 film festivals, and so just on that journey, I feel like we build a lot of momentum. And then we got, you know, a sales agent contacted us, and then we just got distribution offers started coming through. And so I met with a lot of distributors talking about the film, and Buffalo 8, I felt like they really understood the film. And then obviously looking at their track record and the history and everything that they have with the films that they have, I was like, yeah, I think this is our best fit. And I'm really excited.
All right, Patrick Lemire, Sling Blade was a short. The intent was to use the short to get more money. Was that your approach as well?
So we toyed around with that idea early on. I think that was something that we talked about, but I had just heard so many horror stories from like the crowdfunding, or just how the crowdfunding, it's kind of like it hit a wall at a certain point, especially in 2020. That was such a weird time for everybody. So we pretty much made the decision of, we kind of planned that we were going to do this. So me and my executive producer, Curtis Gardner, like him and I pretty much just split costs. And we were like, let's at least start making the film, and then we can have something we can show people if they want to help contribute to finish the film. But really, to get going, it was just 2 people, him and I, funding it. And I think that actually was a pretty smart decision. I knew I wanted to keep the stakes low as far as location wise, and we didn't have any big like car chases or anything like that. So early on, I'm glad I kind of figured that out early on.
And last question, which is also kind of a question of mine, because I noticed you have a lot of DVDs behind you.
Yep.
So Sons and Shadows asks obligatory question: physical media plans. Come on, spill it. Now, is it out on VOD now, or when's it coming out? And then what about the DVD?
Yeah, so it will be out October 3rd, so on Friday. Amazon Prime and Fandango at Home are the 2 that were really, those are the main that we're pushing. And so Friday, October 3rd, you'll be able to watch it. And so support us, give us, you know, word of mouth, spread the word, because independent film kind of lives and dies with word of mouth. So let people know. But as far as physical media, I mean, physical media is played. I mean, I'm looking over here. There's even a wall more of films over here. But yeah, we have plans for physical media. It probably won't be till maybe around like November, December. But we're also toying around the idea with VHS. We have a VHS cover made, and it's really, really cool. And so we're kind of thinking about doing a couple special giveaways and stuff like that. So, but yeah, physical media, DVD, Blu-ray, that's for sure in the works, but probably not till later this year.
Yeah, be careful what you tape over when you do that.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. Devin, thank you so much for joining us. Congrats on the film. It's out this Friday. Monsters Within on VOD, Amazon, Fandango. Get it, rent it, check it out. Devin, thank you so much. Congratulations again.
Chris, Alan, thank you guys so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, there you go. That was great. I love talking to filmmakers. I love it. And that's going to wrap it up for us today, because I'm exhausted, folks. I'm exhausted.
Nooner.
The nooner went on for 3 hours, 3.5 hours. Went right up until and then Gary and I stayed on and talked for another half an hour. I don't ever sit this in a day. My legs are killing me. So that's gonna wrap it up for us. Want to say thank you to, we have a
member message.
Hey, Shucksy.
Yes, member for 38 months. That's 3 years, 2 months. I can do math. Hey, Chris, thanks for the DVDs. I'm going to pass on watching one battle after another. Heading out to Shul soon for Yom Kippur prayer. Take care, guys.
Oh, thanks, Shucksy. First of all, I have to apologize. I'm so sorry it took so long, but I literally misplaced a pile of envelopes that I had to mail out DVDs to our members. So that's something I like to do once a year. And probably do it again this year. So thank you, Shucksy. Sorry it took so long. Glad you got it. Thank you so much. And thank you to our mod, Lord Thoth, we appreciate you. MK Solid, everyone out there. Thank you to Lori, Atomic Lori, Glenn Nuccio, and Alan, my friend who I agree with sometimes on movies.
More often than not.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't know. Do you ever see, if you would see the same movies I see?
I know, that's true.
Like if you saw horror movies, you talking to me? Then who the hell else are you talking to? You talking to me? We will be back Friday. We're talking The Smashing Machine and more. I saw Good Boy. That's the horror film that starts. Alan, if you see one horror movie this year, see Good Boy. It's a horror movie from the point of view of a dog. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Save it for Friday. Lots of movies Friday. We're doing a fun interview. Lots to talk about. Alan, do you have anything else?
You can play the. Oh, yeah, no. Let's get out of here.
Alan, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, let's get out of here.